Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Bucks, who'd have thunk it, but the Panthers win this division if they win this week and win next week against the Saints. That is where we sit right now in the NFC South. The Bucks are 3-point favorites in this game. 40.5 is our total. Adam, if we take a look here, you mentioned Deonta Foreman and how he, buried a bet last week for you. Actually, the weird thing about this guy, so since they traded away McCaffrey, he's gone for 774 rushing yards since they traded away McCaffrey. Only Josh Jacobs and Derrick Henry have more rushing yards than this dude since that time. And so he has kind of found his groove here. I'm not going to say Sam Darnold has found his, but I think that
you better not.
When you think that what this Bucs team brings to the table, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for them to get an outright win here. I really, really don't, because there's just nothing that really just stands out about this Bucs squad right now that makes them that much exponentially better than the Panthers. I know people are going to say, well, the quarterback position. Tom Brady's not been good. Now, he's better than Sam Darnold, I will say that, but Tom Brady has not been good over the last 6 weeks of the season. Period. End of story. He's just not been good. And so a full 3 with the Panthers is at least enticing for me. This was one of the ones where I was talking about, again, round robin teaser type situation. I know it's non-traditional, but I don't see the Bucs winning at margin really against anybody. And look, Panthers defense is sneaky good.
For any of you who have been holding the fort down on Tampa's better than this is your last stand. If you truly believe that Tampa is better than this, you are hammering the Bucs in this game because it's the game they have to have. I am not one of those people. I was on Tampa early in the year. I jumped off around week 4 or 5, and I've stayed off throughout. Do not be fooled by the victories that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have had recently. They have had bad teams giving away games to them 3 times in the last 5 weeks. So there's nothing to believe in on the offensive side. You've heard so much about, but look at them. They're in a 2-minute offense, they've been much better. Do you think that the Carolina Panthers haven't seen that? Do you think other teams aren't aware that when the Bucs see that they've had success in going to tempo and throwing the ball more, ding, surprise, throwing it instead of running it on first down every time, that they're not going to defend them this way as well? And I think you hit the nail on the head, Matt, when you say this game comes down to, can Tampa's defense stop the Carolina running game? I actually do think they can slow it down, because they are very different with Akeem Hicks in there defending the run, which has been a question for them at various points this year. So long story for me to get around to passing on this game. I don't trust Carolina. I certainly don't trust Tampa Bay. And if you guys have a stronger feel on this, I'm all ears when it comes to listening.
Yeah, no, like I said, I think it would be just a non-traditional kind of teaser leg type situation for me, just because I think we've gotten to a point now where we can't trust this Bucs team to win at margin at all. Like, I just don't think that that's a thing that they're going to be able to do. So there's that for me. Steven, what say you?
Tampa Bay's better than this. I think Tampa Bay is better than this.
We fight for freedom.
Good. Here's the way you can prove it. You can put a bet in your account. And you can back that position up. If we could only bet on these things, we can. So there you go. Boom. Nailed it.
Here's why I'm not betting it, though. Because I don't think the coaches are going to let them be better than this. If you guys have watched, I'm sure you have, when they get up tempo, when they start throwing the ball, they look more like their old selves. When they're running the offense, more traditional in the huddle, they're rushing the ball more. They're completely ineffective doing that. They don't look like themselves. And I don't trust the coaching staff to go more up tempo, to go more pass heavy, even with the season on the line. We've seen a big enough sample here. So the way I was looking at this game was sitting there seeing the early week action on Carolina getting closer and closer to this, to maybe be Tampa Bay -2.5. And then that would have been a buy point for me. Now we're going the other way. The limits have been raised. The money's coming in the other way. Tampa Bay -115, -118 at some books here on minus for Tampa Bay as a 3-point favorite. I can't do that. I mean, I can't. So I was looking for a good entry point here, a good buy point here for Tampa Bay. I'm not going to get it. Now I'm starting to wonder if this goes to 3.5, if I'm going to bet Carolina. Because over the past 4 weeks, they have, I mean, I'm like, my jaw is dropping seeing this because I can't believe it. But yeah, over the last 4 weeks, Carolina has the number one offense by EPA per play. Not even close to what Tampa Bay is doing. And to your point, Adam, a lot of that is rushing the ball. And the Bucs are top 10 over the past month in rush EPA and rush success rate defense. So I thought I'd get a buy point here on Tampa Bay minus 2.5. It didn't come, so I'm not going to bet it. But it wouldn't shock me here if they win by 6-7 points. It really wouldn't. This spread was 10. The spread was 13 the first time these two teams played, albeit Carolina kicked their butts. So I don't know what to think about this game other than trying to find some value on the spread, and I don't think we're there yet.
I do think from an in-game perspective, I don't know how much trust I have in the Panthers to come from behind. I will say that. So if the Bucs get up in this game like 10 points, I might come in live on the Bucs, because if it becomes a deal of Darnold having to sling it all over the field to try and come back from behind, I'll play a live minus 12.5 or whatever, or some kind of something like that on the Bucs, or because that's where things are going to go south for the Panthers, right? I mean, like, Darnold has not ever been able to sling it all over the field without doing some major, major terrible things. And so I think that might be also just another angle here, is if the Panthers do find themselves behind, I don't think this is the type of team that is comeback. I think this is the type of team you pile on. Like, you just kind of say, okay, they're going to be done. So